If you keep knocking on the door and it doesn't open, it's not your door.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, shots fired. How's the trip going so far?
Oh gosh.
So amazing.
So good. We've had some fun.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. It's just such a beautiful place to be here, and I'm so glad you came.
Thank you.
And that we get to have a one-on-one chat from the heart about all things about being a woman in mortgage. So before we get started, why don't you share with everybody a little bit about yourself?
Okay.
How you got into this industry. We all have a really unique way of how we got here.
Yeah.
Why don't you share with everybody a little bit about it?
I'm Melissa Nelson. So I've been in the business for 11 years. Kind of an interesting story on how I got in the business. So my very first home, we actually were going with a mortgage broker. And I remember my neighbor, like we were building a house, and he comes out and he's like, well, we were going with a retail lender. And he's like, I can beat your retail lender. And I'm like, who is this guy? And so I'm like, okay, I'll give you a shot. So, and he was just the guy next door that we had built our house next to. And so he actually quoted us, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's saving us like $6,000 or
Wow.
whatever. And so we switched. And obviously, like the whole mortgage broker conversation came up, and living next door to him, and we became best friends with their family. So about that was years ago. So I don't know how many years, but after I had my fourth kid, he calls us and says, hey, Melissa, do you want to be my Idaho mortgage broker? And he was in Utah. And I was like, ooh, what's that?
Yeah.
And he's like, you should get licensed. And I'm like, no, thank you. I owned an interior design business, online furniture business. And I also I was starting my nonprofit, the Community Kindness Movement. And I'm like, how can I get licensed to be a loan officer too? And I just had my fourth baby, just barely. I'm like, okay, I'll get my license.
Yeah, wild.
I don't know why I did.
Overachiever.
But I did. Well, it's because all my family, so a lot of my family, my mother, all in the real estate business.
Okay.
And my brother's a builder.
Yeah. Okay.
So he thought natural fit that this might be something. And we moved a lot. So like online furniture business, it's so different locations. So Boise was amazing, like online. And then we moved to Pocatello. They don't know how to buy furniture online.
Okay.
So I was like, maybe like the slowdown I could do mortgages
something
instead.
Different, yeah.
So I got into it. I'm like, I could probably stage homes, but also do their lending. So that's how the whole thing kind of went. So my mom was like my first.
My mom was my
first hitter. Yeah. So she brought me the business. But that's how I got into the business was actually from my very first mortgage broker with my very first house. And that is 5 houses later.
Well, okay.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, so much similarity. So my mom opened her mortgage company in 93. And so I kind of grew up doing this, but I spent most of my 20s on the wholesale side as an account executive.
Okay.
Came home, had kids, was a stay-at-home mom for 8 years. And then once my youngest, she was 3 or 4, she's now 9, she was going, now she's in full-time school. So I'm like, ooh, I could do something. And that time when I was home with them, even though I'm so grateful for it, blessed to be able to do that, I sometimes felt very challenged with I wanted to do stuff, right? And I'd come from a high-performing job before and hitting President's Club and all that kind of stuff and all the income and the accolades that go with everything. And then to come home and nobody celebrates you when you're just raising babies, and it's just and so I remember stepping back into the workforce and my mom being the first person to give me, I didn't know how to get business, right? Yeah. She'd be like, here's a streamline refinance, right? It was you don't need to know anything. It's just gather the paperwork. And I would charge people nothing to do their business. But having an extra $3,000 every handful of months, it was oh my God, right? And then over time, you bills on one another. So what do you really love about what you do? What's your favorite part of this?
Oh gosh. So I was thinking about just 11 years, this what do I love the best? And I was thinking about all my clients that I've helped out. And I have so many amazing friendships from so many people. But when my really hard days come, which they come.
Yeah.
And I always think of this one transaction. So there's this girl, and she just graduated college, and she first job and had no credit. And I'm like, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you buy a house. And she's like, really? And so we got her, we did the little hack where we added her
authorized user.
authorized user on the credit card with her parents. And so instantly in about 3 months, she had like amazing scores.
Yeah.
So, so we were able to get her into a house. But I remember when we closed, I always remember this image. She sent it to my cell phone. It's a picture of her in her kitchen smiling.
Oh, cute. Yeah.
And, every time I have like a bad day in mortgage, I think of her.
Yeah.
I think of I helped her buy her first house.
Yeah.
And
well, it's huge.
Well, it's kind of different than like I love like first-time home buyers and married spouses and all that, helping them. But there's just something a little bit different about helping a young woman kind of step into her own.
Yeah. Love it. I remember, so now I don't work in this kind of lending anymore, but I remember years ago, it was first generation here in the States, first time home buyer in the whole family, DACA kids, so the dreamer, whatever it stands for. And I don't think I've done an FHA loan since. This is a very long time ago. But I remember thinking to myself, like, what we do, it shifts an entire family line. There's this statistic, if you rent your whole life and you go into retirement, if you rent your whole life, you have access, it's like $5,000. I'm like, what? But if somebody has bought a home and they build that equity on average of every homeowner, by the time they get to retirement, it's like at least like $200,000. And so you can see, like, we do this all the time, and sometimes it comes really mundane, but when you look at it and you go like, I just shifted your entire family lineage by helping you with that one step. Like, it's powerful what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a sister. She's a year younger than me. They've been in the military for years. So I'm 43. She's 42. Has never owned a home.
Yeah.
Never. And I tell her, because they get a per diem
and you're
for
like,
military.
that could be buildings.
And and they've moved so much. And she's like, should I buy on my next move? I'm like, yes. And you should just keep buying and selling and buying and selling. VA benefits.
Yeah. Like, zero down, replenish.
Why aren't you taking advantage of those?
Yeah.
But I look at her compared to where I bought 5 homes.
Yeah.
And the
growth.
I think of how much equity and where I'm at compared.
Yeah. Well, it's wild when I think anywhere we've ever put money. Yeah. And not that even we put a ton of money into buying houses. Yeah. Sometimes it's like you're coming in with, if you're doing VA, no money down and you're building the equity. Sometimes it's 3.5 with FHA, might be 5%. I want to say we might have came in on our first home like 10%. Just because at that time that was like the max conforming limit that I needed to be under. Yeah. But when you're taking, call it, I think we invested maybe $40,000 into our first house. And that we were going to pay, we had to live somewhere anyways. We were going to pay this money anyways. And that house in particular is now worth close to $800,000. And so that's like $400,000 in what? Like, I could have never have like saved that kind of money. Like, where are you going to save $400,000? But it's like putting it into the right vehicles, and people miss that part.
And think of how many years she's been renting, how many years she's dumped all that money
for somebody else.
For someone else.
Yeah.
I mean, and
you're like, I love you. And one day.
one day. And I'll post about it.
Yeah.
But,
so tell me, like, what's your, like, is there a certain like niche that you love to serve or a certain client that is like where you like to play? Tell me about your business.
I really do love, like right now I'm really hitting it hard with millennials.
Okay.
And mainly because like all my education videos, I love to educate. I think we have a lack of education. For a home buying in general.
Oh, 100%.
So when I'm doing my videos, I'm very strategic on supplying them with education. And so, and why I think that is because 72% of home buyers are going to be millennials in the next 5 years. And so that's my target market.
That's a really good place to put yourself when you look at business. It's about, I saw this video one time. It was a basketball going through. It's a basketball going through like a hose.
Okay.
And it's trying to explain the around business and positioning and timing.
Okay.
And like how you have to be in the right position, but you also have to like time that effectively.
Right.
Or you have to be at the right place at the right time, but you also have to like, have the knowledge and all that kind of stuff. And so they were talking about like baby boomers.
Yeah.
So this big piece of population, and if they get to a certain place, you can position yourself with that, you can ride that wave.
Right.
And the same thing with millennials. If you carve yourself out in dealing with millennials and they're all coming into like home buying places, you're positioned yourself correctly.
Right. Well, I think too, if we can get the millennials into houses, they're going to help the next generation.
Yeah.
It's kind of a domino effect. So, but there's so many of us that had babies in the millennials. So like, that's really that's the market that's coming in. And so I'm really big on education, but also I know like they're so worried about inflation, so worried about down payment, and so worried about credit scores.
Yeah.
And so I hit heavy on those because those are kind of the three negative factors.
Yeah, and affordability is really difficult too.
I mean, interest rates play a part in that, but I don't really hit hard on interest rates.
Well, because we can't control that stuff,
we
right?
can't.
We can control the down payment and the credit score and stuff like that, but interest rates are going to do what interest rates do.
Plus, like teaching them, okay, set aside the payment. Like think of the payment. Can you afford it? Like set it aside for 3 to 4 months and see if you can actually afford that payment. And then if you think you can, then buy a house.
Yeah. Well, that's smart advice.
So, it's like training them, I guess, to buy a house. That's what I'm doing.
I love it.
So,
do you mind if we talk about community kindness?
Yeah, let's do it.
Love
it. I can talk all day about this.
So I remember a couple of years ago seeing you at Fuse, which is our big industry event.
Yeah.
And you talking about this movement.
Yes.
And I just remember being like,
you were in the crowd?
Yeah, this is so beautiful. And a lot of times, like mortgage is just our venture capitalist for what we really want to do, right?
Yeah.
Where we really want to have impact.
Yeah.
And we use mortgage to help facilitate that. So share with everybody a little bit about community kindness.
Okay. So it's called the Community Kindness Movement. We have been advocating for kindness for bullying and suicide prevention for the last 10 years. Yeah. It all started from my daughter. She was being bullied at school in 2nd grade. I also had a son that's a year older on the spectrum. And so I had pulled at my heartstrings when all this was going on. And we decided to stop the bullying or try to stop it by sending in yellow roses into the school anonymously to these 3 girls.
Okay.
And so
was it the 3 girls that were doing the bullying?
Yes.
Oh,
out on the
okay.
playground. So we sent out the roses. We sent out it was about 24 roses into the school, so it didn't look like we were pinpointing.
Yeah.
And we did it anonymously, so no one knew if it was from us. But I would tell you what I know about anonymous kindness is that when people don't know who the kindness is from, they think twice about why the Kind Act was done.
Okay.
And then they also think like, maybe I could do this, or maybe I should change my ways. Or I love anonymous kindness more than.
Yeah.
It's like it can perform a change of heart.
Okay.
I guess that's what I was trying to accomplish. Yeah. So I had read an article the night before, and I kind of prayed about it, and I came upon this article that said that kindness can perform a change of heart.
I love that.
And I'm like, you know what? That's my answer. I'm going to try it. And when I told my daughter, she was like, no way. No way. Tears.
Yeah.
And what's kind of funny is that my neighbor didn't really love me that much because her son was amazing. And I didn't really love him at my house.
Yep.
And so she's like, if I have to do kindness, you have to do it for her.
Okay.
That was the challenge.
That's a challenge. I don't want to do it for her.
And guess what? I did.
Did you get a change of heart?
You know what? She became one of my board members.
Oh, okay.
So that's something that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
There's so many things that have come out from the last 10 years. I think of how, if I wouldn't have done this, how many people I would have missed out on meeting. We have funded how many schools? 62 schools, and 35,000 kids.
Wow.
So every September, we fund Schools with Kindness shirts. They wear them on Thursday. It always says kindness begins with me because we are taking the lead that it really begins with us.
Yeah.
And they're always yellow because of the yellow roses.
Okay. I love it.
So
I mean, that's like really making an impact
Yeah.
in the world, right?
Yeah. And, I was just a stay-at-home mom. Just thought I didn't even think it would evolve into this. I didn't even know what a nonprofit was.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy how I just got on a parade float and asked kids. I was Mrs. Pocatello at the time. Asked kids to do acts of kindness after I did all that.
Yeah.
Do acts of kindness and just ride the parade float with us. And then the mayor saw me, and he thought, we should do something. And then I asked him if he would promote a community kindness week for the city.
Yeah.
And then it just gradually grew.
Oh, I
and
love
then
it.
everybody got involved, and the very first year we funded all the elementary schools in Pocatello. So there's 8,000 kids. So that is how it all
love
began.
that.
And then I moved to Boise,
You're like, we're going to do this here too.
and we decided,
Yeah.
and a lot of schools heard about us.
Yeah.
And so it was gradually a great move for me, because then we were able to take it across the state and to way more schools. So now we're just everywhere in Idaho. We have about 100 kindness ambassadors, and we're on a page, and we all promote kindness every Thursday online.
I love
So,
that.
and we wear yellow shirts.
That's beautiful.
So,
That is
yeah.
so beautiful. I love too that there is another energy at play there. It's you got a message that
Yes.
this is what you were supposed to do.
Yes.
You may have not. One of the themes that we've been talking about is God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called,
yes,
right?
yes.
And so there's times
I love
you
that.
get this thing and you're like, I don't think this is not for me, right? And you're like, God, okay.
It
okay.
was for me. It was for me. And you know what I love about it too is that, so I quit my furniture business because I got so busy with COVID with mortgages. And what my kindness movement has done for me was it was a creative outlet too.
Yeah.
Where I could design shirts, because I was creative from interior design.
Yeah.
But what's amazing now for the mortgage industry, I can now be creative in the mortgage industry.
With videos and
With videos,
yeah.
where my outfits, I was like, oh my gosh,
love
I
it.
can be who I am and be it in mortgage.
Yeah.
And so I figure out if you can love what you do and be who you are and position it into your career, I feel like you've hit the jackpot.
100%. I
So-
feel like whenever people's like, what do you do? I'm like, really? I feel like I F around on Facebook and I monetize it with mortgage.
Yeah.
But it's for a long time, I was like, how do you take something that's not creative, right?
Yes.
We're talking numbers and puzzles and blah, 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 all this stuff. But for those of us that are creatives at
Yes.
heart, sometimes
Yes.
it's this disconnect of how do I embody all my creativity and all
Yeah.
of that in something that it's the feminine and the masculine,
Yes.
right? So the femininity
Yes.
part is your creativity and stuff, and the masculine part is
The
numbers.
numbers.
I get these things to work together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
even
so-
though I do love numbers, because
Yeah.
this is a funny story, but in college, I would take my Christmas gifts back and take the cash and put it in my savings account.
Oh God.
My parents know now. But we used to get big Christmases, and so I would take the presents back and I would put it in my account. I'm kind of
That's
a money,
smart. Yeah.
I'm kind of a money hoarder.
Yeah. Okay.
So I like to
Yeah.
invest my own money. I like to deal with my own money. So it's kind of it all works for me.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's both sides of that yin and yang. A lot of times when I talk about
Yeah.
masculine, feminine, sometimes people think it's gender. And I'm like, no, it's
yeah.
energy,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
so being able to have both of those
Yeah.
in your business, it allows you to create in flow, right?
Yeah.
And you need both.
Yeah.
We got to have the masculine, because the masculine is the get shit done,
Yeah,
right? But I don't want to stay there forever, right?
No.
I want to have fun and
But
yeah.
I feel like you have to lead with your heart. The
Yeah,
heart,
same
heart
thing.
first. Because I find that people that lead with their heart, they're most impactful. And
you
so
don't have to worry about all of the details if that's where you're coming from.
right,
I
but it
think.
also builds meaningful relationships. And I think meaningful relationships bring a better business.
Yeah.
Plus, I think we're more fulfilled in our careers when we have meaningful relationships.
Yep.
I'm a heart girl.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Swiftie.
Yeah.
Swiftie.
Did you go to? Oh, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, I remember seeing that online.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What does Melissa want to do?
Gosh, that's a big question.
Yeah.
Normally, I really know. Normally, I know what I want to do in 5
Yeah.
years. I feel like, no, I'm not really sure.
okay.
I'm not sure if I'm going to slow down or like I'm kind of in a chapter in my life where my kids are going to college now, like new chapters. I have thought maybe I want to be an executive at a lending company or something later in my career. But right now, I'm just being the boss mom.
Yeah.
I'm open to new possibilities.
There you go. That's a beautiful place to be. And I think it's very much what happens in your 40s is that you're like, all right, I did all this. I was telling one of the girls, like, in my 30s, I, like, wanted to, like, rule the world.
Yeah.
And now in my 40s, I'm like, I'm not sure we want to rule the world anymore. I also want to just go to Pilates.
Yeah.
You know, like, and go to brunch. And, like,
well, I just want to wake up feeling good.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things that we take advantage of, like the simple things in life. And I think once you get to our age, we're like, oh, gosh. Okay, we don't have to compete.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about things that we really shouldn't worry about.
I read this poem one time. It was so, like, it changed. Like, it shifted something in me. It was something like, what if I just want a mediocre life?
Oh.
And I remember, like, at any other time in my life, I would have really read that word mediocre and been repulsed by it. And I was at this is when I was raising my babies at home. I was at this point in life where I felt like for the longest time I was like chasing everything. And like in that space, especially with littles, like you're just like, I felt chasing, but nothing was planning out. And I just got to a point I was like, quit everything. And I was like, I'm just going to sit here and wait. Because I'd never like made a move without knowing where I was going. I didn't allow myself to be led. I was the leader. We're going to have all the things buttoned up before we do one thing. And then I was like, I was missing out on so much of the magic of life because I was so dead set on what I wanted to do instead of allowing creation, God to come through and work and like lead me. And I remember having this like moment. I was like, fine, I'll just wait until you bring me my next thing I'm supposed to do. And I'll wait in that space of not knowing. And like, it ended up being really beautiful and totally different. But one thing I learned is like everything that I was chasing, I already had.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of times we're like, well, we want the money. And it was like, it's not really the money. It's like, what's the energy? What's underneath that? And it was like love and acceptance and adoration. And then it was like, oh, I was chasing it here, but it was already in my life here.
Yes.
Once I understood that, then I could take these things in my life and say like, yes, I want to experience more love and joy. Okay, great. Where do I already have that in my life? And like looking at my kids and being like, you already have it here. Okay, so now I can go after things in a place of abundance because I already have it.
Yeah.
And act from there. And then it was like, ooh, the supercharged thing happened. I was like, oh shit, like now stuff starts working because I was operating out of like already having instead of chasing what I didn't have.
Yeah.
And like if you chase things that you don't think you have, it will continue to evade you.
Well, I think it's hard too, kind of knowing when one chapter has ended and one will begin.
Yeah, I was not very good at that for a really long time.
It's really hard for me because I've lived a chapter for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And I think to me, when you ask me, well, what does the next 5 years look like? I don't know, because I've been living this chapter for the last, I don't know how many years. Am I going to continue those chapters or is it time for new chapter, new evolution? Like, do I evolve?
Yeah.
Because I think evolution is, I think it's a natural thing. It's just knowing when to stop and knowing when to,
it makes
tough.
It's tough. Yeah. It makes you look good in business, right? Because you're willing to go the extra mile.
Yeah.
And I remember
career too. I mean, mortgages too.
Yeah.
Same thing. Should I grow or should I? Should I stay here and be good with what life's given me?
I saw this meme one time, and it was like, if you keep knocking on the door and it doesn't open. It's not your door.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, shots fired.
But
yes, I got you.
Usually, though, I'm not a skydiver.
Yeah.
So I don't like to be. I don't jump. I don't jump.
Yeah.
I'm not a. I don't like to take a lot of risk.
Yeah.
And I probably should, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is about me, but I check myself more than maybe I even need to. And there's a lot of jumpers out there.
Yeah.
I wish
I'm a jumper now.
Are you?
Yeah. Now I'm a jumper. I'm doing like a run. It's fine.
I don't know why I'm so scared about skydiving.
Yeah, well, I'm not really going to get in a plane because that's like, like people are like, oh, I want to run a marathon. And I'm like, absolutely, I have no need to run a marathon, nor am I going to jump out of a plane.
I kind of envision it like this. I sleep in a really comfortable bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great.
And then when you're sleeping in a really soft one, you're like, why do I need to change?
Why am I getting out of here? Like, that was dumb. Why don't you share with me who your biggest role models in life and business have been?
Okay. You know what? I love this because like at Fuse, I asked Layla, it was Layla Ali. Mm-hmm. I asked her who her woman role model was. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Were you in the room when I asked this?
Yeah.
And she said that she didn't have one. Mm-hmm. And she said that her dad was really her main source. And I thought about that and I'm like, I was kind of sad for her. Mm-hmm. She said that her mom believed in her, that her mom believed that she could do anything, which is amazing. Yeah. But I thought, like, that's just too bad.
Yeah.
That there weren't a lot of, but maybe in that space.
Females. Yeah.
I think in mortgages, like we have stepped up our women role models in mortgage, which is, we should all be really proud about.
Yeah.
Because I think there's so many of us out there that people can look up to now. Yeah. Hallelujah. But one of my biggest role models, oh gosh, I have so many, but my grandma, her husband owned a grocery chain. Mm-hmm. He died of a heart attack at the age of 40, left her with 5 kids. And she raised all 5 kids on her own. I remember she had a few boyfriends and stuff, but never remarried, like lost the love of her life. But I remember her, she was such a dancer. Mm-hmm. And she just danced all the time. She lived with us, loved jewelry, just all that kind of stuff. But all I remember is the dancing. Mm-hmm. And so I'm kind of like, love that. I always have this phrase like, life's a dance. Mm-hmm. We learn as we go. I'm a dancer.
Yeah.
I dance all the time. It's like my favorite thing to do. Mm-hmm. But I take after my grandma. Yeah. And she's like one of my role models. But I feel like she was such a strong woman. Mm-hmm. I look at all my cousins, all my aunts, my mother, all very strong women.
Yeah.
All very independent. Yeah. We're all very, very much alike. We're all went and got our education. Like we're all very
I love that.
independent women. And I think my grandma set the tone.
Yeah. How do you blend work-life balance? How many kids do you have?
Yeah. I have 4.
4
kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So raising 4 children. Yeah. What we do is
talk about this.
Not easy. So let's talk about how do you manage that all?
I have a girlfriend that just had her first baby and she's a loan officer. She's like, how do I do both? I'm like, you can't.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There is a time and a place, right?
You can't do both. I mean, unless you can't be a full-time mother and a full-time LO.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah.
So you got to decide.
Yeah.
There's so many years that I wasn't a top producer or I just kind of went with the flow because I had 4 kids I was also taking care of. So what I love about my job.
I think part of that is though understanding that and then being okay with.
And being okay with it.
There's a season to life. Right.
And so maybe some years I can't do as much and I'm okay with it now because I've learned that.
Yeah.
But I think when you're into this in this business, you feel the pressures, which I can see that she feels pressured.
Yeah.
It's really something that you got to hone in on that you can't really do at all. And it's okay.
Yeah.
Because you're going to miss out on those moments if you don't give up something.
Yeah.
So, so anybody that's listening to this, like, there's a season.
Yeah, there's a season in life for sure.
What I love about like today versus like the 10 years in doing mortgages, I could actually work in my workout clothes, and I can make money and be at home with my kids, taking care of them. I loved that. I still love it today. Yeah. But now today, all my kids are pretty independent. So now I can hit it pretty hard. Like I can hit it harder. So
I remember having a conversation with a big leader in the space. I will not say his name, so you guys don't have to do that. But I remember being online with him, and I don't know. I'll say what happened, so you guys might know if you've read this message. But he had posted about going from 30 loans a month to like 300.
Wow.
I know, right? And so, and then like the moral of the post was really good at the bottom. It was like it wasn't about the production. It was really about blah, 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 blah. And so in the comments, I was like, hey, I'm not going to talk about the 300, but let's talk about the 30 because I don't do 30 loans a month.
Yeah.
I also feel like 30 loans a month, like, God, that's a lot.
That's a lot,
right? So but I can go conceptually from where I'm at, which is probably 5 to 7, right? 5 to 7. I'll be honest. Last year I did just shy of 19 million. That's my production. I'm good with that, right? I'm like 19 million times 2 bips at 80%. That's my comp. That's probably way more info than
more than
you
a
guys
doctor's
need.
salary,
right? Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So I asked the guy, I go, hey, let's talk about that 30 a month. What did that take? Because a lot of times we will parade the accolation across the thing. Look at what I did, but we're not talking. What's the net? Like, I need to know the net. How many in staff does that take? What's that dollar figure? How much in ad spend? How much are you working?
How many weekends did you give away?
100%. Like, what is everything else?
How many relationships are neglected?
100%. Am I willing to? I need to know what's the cost.
Yeah, what's the
Am
cost?
I going to pay that?
Yeah.
Because not all production is good production. Not all paychecks are good paychecks. And you have to know if you're willing in your time and space right now with everything else, are you willing to pay that?
Yeah.
And so when you have little kids, it's like you can't compare. And that's the problem sometimes with this whole thing. It's like we look at it and we're like, well, I'm not doing enough. I'm not good enough, blah, 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 because so-and-so has this production. And it's like, no, you don't know what so-and-so's paying for that production.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Yeah. So you just got to do you.
Yeah.
Got to be okay with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own little time frame.
I totally agree.
And I think we learned that
with age.
With our,
you learn it
We're
with
finally
age.
like, oh gosh, the light comes on.
I'm like, also like right now in my life, looking at, I just started working with the tax strategist because I get my taxes in every year and I'm just like,
oh yes, I like this.
What happened? And so I was like, well, maybe it's not even about making more money. Maybe it's not about more production. Maybe it's I need to keep more of what I'm making and investing it. And maybe we're living smarter lives, more like, I'm like more money, less effort, more money. Like if we can get down to like the least amount of effort so we can live beautiful lives and do stuff like this on the regular. Like,
well, now because, loan officers used to have to be W-2, but now we can be 1099. Yeah. So I loved, that's why I had a furniture business for 14 years because my dad taught me the magic of write-offs.
Like, how do I do this? Yeah. And that's like when people...
That is like my biggest thing. I have to be 1099.
Yeah, same.
And I gave up my furniture business because I could be 1099 when I went Barrett.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh... nice. And so, of course, I know the magic of it all.
When somebody was like, let's go on a trip. And I was like, I love you girls, but we're just not going to go on a trip. Like, we got to write it off.
Yes.
So what are we going to do business activity to write it off? And number 2, we're going to make more money. And so it was like, we're going to make content creation. This thing's going to make us a ton of money when we get back.
I grew up that way. My dad was all about that. And so that's why he had his little businesses on the side. He worked for the government too, but he was the one who taught us the magic of write-offs. And so all of us, all of us kids have our own businesses.
Yeah, it's powerful.
For a write-off.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. We need to have more conversations like this. And especially in circles of like women. I have a handful of friends and clients that are going through like the divorce, post-divorce, not knowing anything about how money works, how to invest it, and had no idea what was what, how much money they even had. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And so I think in
you're onto something.
There needs to be more education.
60 to 50% of divorce. Yeah. I think there needs to be a lot more education about money, splitting the assets, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Well, maybe that's Melissa 2.0.
Oh, shoot!
Whatever Melissa 2.0 is.
Oh, gosh. I don't know what she is.
I don't know, but I'm sure it's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be a wild ride. Well, thank you so much for coming. I'm so happy to have you, and I just can't wait to see.
Thank you. Love you tons.
Everything that comes.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, go follow us on social. Do us a favor, subscribe, all that stuff, and share. If you loved this, share it with your favorite females. Bye. I want you guys to be able to go back into your marketplace and have the best 2025. skills and the resources to build your business on a bigger level, but that you also have the network and connections to support that.